Hi guys, it's Nancy, the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. Today we're venturing into watercolor again, and I'm calling this Galaxy Note Cards. And it is based on the tutorial by Ellen Crimmy Trent, as I've done in the past. And I will have her listed hopefully up in the corner as well as down in the description. And similar to the way I did the cardinal card watercolor painting a few weeks ago, I'm going to do on this one. We're just going to let the music play and I'll pop in from time to time, but otherwise we're just going to enjoy the process. So I have two note cards. I believe they're cut down to 4.5 by 4, and I have them taped to my board. I'm using my Daniel Smith watercolor palette again, and I'm just going in and I'm making a messy galaxy. If you've ever seen anybody do a galaxy background, you know that they are a hot mess and they get worse before they get better. And this is my first time. I've never done one with ink. This is my first time doing it with paint, and again it's based on that tutorial by Ellen Crimmy Trent. I hope you'll check her out. She just makes watercolor so approachable and so easy, and I'm so glad that I found her. There are lots of things that she shared that I really want to get busy and set my hand to and try. So here I tried to blend up some purple, and that red is just really strong. It's almost more of a scarlet at this point, but I keep working at it. From time to time I'll hit it with the heat tool so that I can actually have layers versus just a melding of colors. So I wanted a little darker layer. So when you think about the galaxy, there's layer upon layer upon layer. And it's not just all dark. A lot of it is dark. But it's not just all dark. So I've got some more of that deep rich blue, and then I'm going to come in with an almost black layer after I hit it with my heat tool again. And then this is the layer that makes it look like it's the sky, it's the galaxy, because it darkens it all up, but some of that color still shows through. And please feel free to look at some other galaxy videos. Again, this is my first one ever, and we all know that I'm a novice at watercolor, so I'm not trying to teach per se as much as I am just to share my process. And I want it real loosey-goosey and watercolory, translucent around the edges. I had to make sure it was dry before I hit it with some splatter. And I struggle with the splatter on this one, guys, I won't lie, and I share my process. And this whole thing, well, probably 95% of it is in real time. So I know a lot of you want to see, how long it really takes. I'm not fast by any means. I had a hard time getting these splatters off of that brush, so I had to change brushes. Again, using the same colors for splatters as I did for the actual painting, it marries the whole piece together. And then of course some gouache. We gotta have some snow or some stars or a little bit of both. Much better splatter effect. And yes, of course, shimmering bliss. So I have gold and I have the blue, and I can't remember the name of the blue. I'll try to remember to list it down below. I want to say it's Ocean Breeze, but it matches perfectly. It's beautiful. And again, I have trouble getting the splatters off the nozzle, but I keep trying. I feel like it's operator error. So what do you think at this point? Does it look like a hot mess, or does it look like a galaxy coming together? The reveal. Not as dramatic as some others because the galaxy is centered in the middle of the card. But I'm happy with it. I'm okay with it. Now it's time to paint in the snowflakes. So I just take some water and I add it to my gouache just to loosen it back up. And in the same way that I painted the snowflakes in the other card, and I'll try to have that listed up above as well, or down below, or both. I had my phone open next to me to show me some snowflake samples, and I just kind of went to town. They're very similar to the last card that I made, based on the same tutorial by Ellen Crimmy Trent. And if you wanted to replicate these cards, but you're not comfortable with the freehanding, you can always use stamps. This was just an exercise in watercolor for me, and I love it, guys. I think I've made that pretty clear. I'm sorry. And also, if you didn't want to watercolor the galaxy background, you could do ink blending or ink smooshing. Lots of different ways you could get that effect. Let me know if you think this is something you might try, whether it's with watercolors or inks or stamps or both or all of it. Your process, your card, it's all your own. Do it how you want. Again, we're not looking for perfection, we're looking for creativity. And if you're happy with it in the end, that's what matters. And let me encourage you to monitor that internal voice, because we tend to be our own worst critics. We see the things that didn't turn out the way we had in our minds. We see all the flaws. We see all of that. But the recipient or the viewer, they don't see it. They just see the overall composition, and they're gonna love it. Trust me, they're gonna love it. Just follow your creative heart, guys. This music is called Celtic Christmas, and it's by Michelle McLaughlin. I think it's beautiful. I really like how the edges of the snowflake go outside of the galaxy painting and kind of interrupt that border. If I do this again, I might need my gouache to be a little bit thicker so it stands out a little bit better. Here I thought I could take the end of my paintbrush to make some of my dots, my circles, but the gouache isn't thick enough for that to really be effective. But dip dot painting with the end of a paintbrush is not something new. I used to make dip dot hearts, oh gosh, years and years ago. I'm sure many of us have. Let me know if you remember that technique, guys. Sorry, I'm drinking my coffee. Now remember, this one is in real time. In fact, this whole process has been in real time. When I get to the second card, I have it sped up ×3 because the process is the same. So I didn't want to subject you to real time on that. But I wanted you to see the process. So many of you asked to see the whole process and not just bits and pieces. So I'm trying to honor that. So here I go, ×3. Now this video is just about the process of painting, and when I'm done with the painting, I don't show you how I put the cards together because that's not what this particular video is about, but I do mount them up. I trim them down, I trim the panels down, and I mount it on some beautiful navy cardstock that I think is from Stampin' Up, to be honest, and then I put the whole composition together on, I think they're 4.5 by 4.5 craft note cards, and I just picked them up either from Joann's or Michael's. And then I added some beautiful shaker bits from Sparkle Blends. I used them as confetti. And here I'm using that sentiment from Technique Junkies. It says, "And to all a good night." I thought that was perfect for this. It's just peaceful. It nods to Christmas. But it doesn't have to be, because we all go to sleep every day, right? And to all a good night, every night, not just Christmas. So I stamp the sentiment on both panels, and then I heat emboss in alabaster embossing powder from Brutus Monroe. You can see down on the bottom right the stamp that says New Year, New Hope. I was going to do that on one card and To All a Good Night on another, but the To All a Good Night just fit perfectly. So I saved the New Year, New Hope for another card. But I love that sentiment, especially given the year we've had. I think everyone's looking to 2021 with new hope. So down goes the alabaster white. And this is watercolor card, so it took a couple stamps to get the glue down, so that there was or not the glue, but the sticky ink, so that there was enough for the embossing powder to stick to. And you saw I took my paintbrush to knock off some of that embossing powder that had stuck to the residue from the painter's tape. And again, this is real time. So as long as your heat tool is fast or is hot, you can see that it embosses really fast. And there they are. What do you think, guys? Do you think you'll do this? Let me encourage you to do it. It was so peaceful, so cathartic, and I'm really happy with the overall design and the cards. Guys, if you like this video, I ask that you give it a thumbs up. If you're not already a subscriber, I'd appreciate it if you would. Join my little tribe. I think we're pretty happy around here. And of course, leave me a comment downstairs. I want to know your thoughts on this. Do you think you'll do this? As always, love you guys. Thanks. Nancy the Handy Scandy. See you next time. Bye-bye.